We are back with more birds, and we're rocking this Sakura background, which is pretty colorful. Looks pretty good. Got Savvy's Warbler, good card drawing bird. Always sucks to hand out cards to our opponent though. Bonus card is Wildlife Gardener and Diet Specialist. Not sure how I feel about that. Screech Owl could be our forest bird. I do like the look of this Carolina Wren, but we are going second, so I don't know if my opponent would grab that. I think I am going to grab the Screech Owl just to guarantee a forest bird. Take a worm and a rat for our two birds here. And I can keep a cherry for the Carolina Wren. Looks like we're going to have a very egg-heavy game. Bonus card. I think we're going to go with Diet Specialist. It only takes 2 bombs to get on the board for that one. So let's roll with that. Alright, my opponent did take the Carolina Wren, but they revealed Housefinch, so I'm just going to snipe that one. My opponent gains food. They also have a rat. That cherry is going to go to the Carolina Wren. This goshawk looks kind of nice. I wonder what they scoop up here. So let's just get our Savvy's Warbler down. What's the bird feeder looking like? No wheat. We're going to need that for our Housefinch. If they end up grabbing that goshawk, that's kind of a bad prospect, because if I hand them cards with Savvy's Warbler, they can just turn around and tuck those cards under the goshawk. So I kind of suspect, yeah, they took the goshawk. But they revealed common chaffinch. So I think I'm going to draw that. It's a good mid to late game pivot bird. And I think we just need to bite the bullet and dig for some cards here. We'll hand one to our opponent. Common Cuckoo is a good bird with all these egg goals coming up here. I suspect my opponent will grab that as well. Might actually throw down this vulture, so when they play that goshawk, I'll get a food. And they did leave the cuckoo. They laid eggs, so we could be seeing the goshawk coming here. So now, do I want to grab this cuckoo? Or do I want to play the vulture to capitalize on the free food? So if my opponent plays this goshawk like I predict, I'm going to be able to grab this cuckoo on the next turn. So I'm going to gamble a little bit with the cuckoo here. And throw down the vulture. So they did play the goshawk. There it is. So now I get my food. I'm going to take the worm. And now I'm going to draw this cuckoo. And I think, kind of looking at this long spur, would be my second. I don't have one on the board. I'm kind of looking at this lazuli bunting as well. They don't have a cup nest yet, but that could easily change. I don't think I'm ready for the long spur yet. And I'm definitely not ready for the tree sparrow, because it's just kind of a garbage card. But if my opponent works on developing this forest, this might work out, but I'm not too excited about it. And all these excess cards I'm drawing can be converted into points through the chaffinch later. So I got 3 activations left. Let's lay some eggs. And I think I'm going to play My eastern screech owl. I could gain food here again and get this cuckoo down. So we see the gain food action from our opponent. That kind of bites because I needed that worm and wheat that were in there. They're going to have to lay eggs again if they want to win the round goal. My opponent has a lot of food and nothing really going on in their board, and I see a rat here. I suspect they might have a raven. They could have killdeer as well. That's why they're not really developing their wetlands at all. That just makes that cuckoo even better. There's our free egg. Take that rat for our owl. And let's take the wheat here. And barn swallow pops up in the tray. We need that. Let's spend the egg on extra food. Or extra cards, rather. Nuthatch could be good. Good bomb. Good bomb. Ibis is a good bomb. So I think we're kind of at the point where we can stop handing my opponent cards. I need to get food and get this house finch and this swallow down in my grasslands. So there's the raven as predicted. I definitely don't want to hand him any cards now, because they got to rely on this janky wetland card draw action here. They might gain the shoveler. It's a good bomb. Be their wetland bird for round 4. So let's see here. Could overpay for the swallow. I think I'm going to gain food here though. I think this screech owl can go. Let's take the cherry. Take a second cherry. Then we're just going to have to... We can pay for the house finch. And then we'll force down the barn swallow. Having some type of grasslands food production would be amazing for us right now. There we got a catbird in the grasslands for my opponent, so they're gonna look to repeat this raven maybe. Really pile up on the food. It's also their cup nest for the round goal. Get rid of that lazuli bunting. Don't really need that. Common swift. Not really a fan. I think we'll tuck it. It's a good bonus card bird. I really need to get some type of food production. We see a tree swallow from my opponent. Let's tuck this nuthatch. Let's deny the ibis. Tuck the bunting. Actually, let's tuck this turtle dove. That's garbage. Hummingbird. My opponent could grab that, but we'll benefit from it. That's the food production we need, though. So they left it. There's a starling, so they're going to want to feed that starling with the raven. It's like that might be their strat. Repeat the raven for a bunch of food. Load up that starling. I need that hummingbird. Boy, I think this this chaffinch might be on the chopping block. I have 1, 2, 3 birds that cost 4 food in my hand. I get them on the board. I just need one more. I can max out this bonus card. And this starling is going to be pretty nice for my opponent as well, because all that food I hand them with the hummingbird, they'll be able to convert that on their swift, or starling rather. So my opponent has plenty of cavity nest space. Well, that's birds with cavity nests. So he has 3. I have 1, 2. That blue-gray gnatcatcher would have been great early on. See eggs from my opponent. Let's gain some food here. Let's take the fish. Take the worm. Throw down this hummingbird. There's a cuckoo for my opponent. Not sure I mind that too much. That could be forester or omnivore. They are going to benefit from getting eggs, but maybe they're not planning on building out their grasslands too deep. We'll have them go first. So let's take the wheat. And I think this Cassin's Finch is going to bite the dust here. Bush tit could be good. What do I want to get rid of? Probably should have drawn cards first before I did this activation. That would be pretty good nest space. Let's get rid of the painted bunting. Not sure we're going to have a large amount of birds to take advantage of bonus cards. Bunting has a rather sizable nest. And that's kind of what we need right now. My opponent laid their eggs. Got 2 activations left. I've got 3 activations left. Let's gain food, because we need it pretty bad. Grab the worm for our bush tit. And we'll grab the rat for our heron. Got a stilt there from our opponent. Throw down the bush tit in the wetlands. So now we have 3 cavity nests. We're tying them. I'm just going to draw cards here. Get an egg on the bush tit. Maybe I should grab one of these food birds. It's pretty late in the game to be playing a 1-point bird. Let's throw it on here. We're going to lay an egg on the bush tit anyway. Plenty of food for my opponent. They're going to tuck it on their starling. And I think we will hand out the cards. We'll play generously. Flamingo, not the game for that, I think. Nightingale. That would go pretty good in our grasslands. Blow up everyone's scores. Don't have a lot of time left though. We're entering into round 4 here. I could gain food, discard the flamingo, gain 2 food, play the nightingale, lay eggs, get the food I need, drop the heron, load up as many eggs in my wetlands as possible. I need to get the ibis and the heron down. I'd be gaining 2 food per turn, but I'd be loading up my nests very quickly. There's a raven peeking around the corner. Tied there. Raven doesn't really do much for us here. I could just force down this nightingale. All the food I hand to my opponent just makes it easier for him to stack this starling, spend less eggs from the raven. I overpay with the nightingale. Go down to 4 activations. I gain 2 food per turn. I need 6 total food to get these 2 birds down. Wouldn't have the activations. So I am going to gain food here. Let's get the worm. Get the fish. Canada Goose. So it looks like my opponent is going to spam their grasslands at the end here, load their wetlands up with eggs. They could repeat the raven for a bunch of wheat and tuck it on the goose. They could actually, they've got 2 wheat, they can repeat the goose here, get 2 wheat from the raven, and just repeat on this goose for the rest of the game. That's annoying. And if I feed them food, they're just going to put it on this starling. So the goose has kind of put their starling out of commission. Let's get our heron down. I need 2 worms for my stork, or ibis rather. My opponent can have 10 eggs in the grasslands, or in the wetlands. And I can have 11. 5, 9, 10, 11. My opponent laid eggs. They did repeat the goose. Does it pay to play this nightingale? I can't do it right now. Let's gain food. I'll go first. I need worms. I hope my opponent leaves that worm. They're probably going to grab wheat, but they're probably going to take the split phase. Just in the off chance they left the split phase. It's exactly what I needed. So if I lay eggs here again, I'm going to lose 1 egg. But I'll be able to get the food I need for my ibis and then play that on my last activation. Scoring with Diet Specialist. And we should win the round goal here. Because my opponent is going to lean on this repeated goose. Feels like a fairly close game, but my opponent might edge me out here with this repeated goose. Okay, so he ran his grasslands as expected. So I'm going to lose out on 2 eggs here because I picked one up off the cuckoo. But there's nothing to be done about it. I need this worm. No egg for us off the cuckoo because we're full up. Play our ibis. Alright, free egg. And here we go. We'll see if my opponent's OG Power Boost managed to pull it off here. Calculating their teal powers. Won the wrong goal, thankfully. Well, if you like that game, please hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. Tied on bird points. He did slightly better on bonus cards. Boy, it's neck and neck. I'll have more eggs. It's close. Yeah, my opponent edged me out. That's not even edged me out. He had a pretty commanding lead there. I think that Power Goose brought it home.